On behalf of Revels Houston, our chorus and crew, I want to thank our hosts and welcome you to the party. Revels' mission is to celebrate cultural traditions through music, dance, and drama. We hope you will enjoy this virtual program of carols, readings, and revelry, and that you will return to the theater with us next year. We hope also that you will consider a donation to Revels Houston. There is more information on the last page of your song sheets. Your support has allowed us to bring joy to our Houston audiences for over 30 years. Thank you very much.
Strike, strike the gong of our song, till souls take fire, clap hands and bellow. Dance, dance, leap higher and longer, and hug each other with your fellows. Up with the windows, raise the shout, saying all the alleluias out. Bring every stranger in, call for the lights, and sing.
Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a-wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassel too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. We are not daily beggars that beg from door to door, but we are neighbors, children whom you have seen before. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassel too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. Good master and good mistress, as you sit beside the fire, pray take the most poor children who wander in the mud. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassel too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. We have a little purse made of ratchet leather skin. We want some of your small change to learn it well within. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassel too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year.
Here we come a-wassailing. Welcome to Revels Houston's 2021 virtual Christmas Carol sing-along. We're going back to the very roots of the Christmas Revels with this program. Usually at this time of the year, we present a theatrical Christmas Revels production with carols and dances and stories and children's game songs and drama and ritual, all together in a form of traditional celebration of the winter solstice. These shows were created by the late John Langstaff, a classically trained concert baritone, music educator, and champion of all things that have to do with traditional music and dance. He got the idea from a custom in his own family. His parents, when he was growing up in Brooklyn Heights, New York, used to have an annual caroling party and invited all their friends from the New York City arts community to join together to sing carols and celebrate the season. That's what we're doing here with you at home, and we hope you'll sing along with every song that you care to sing along with. We're going to give you a break from time to time, and the chorus is going to do a number on their own, as they just did the wassailing song that began. And we also have some little stories and poems that have to do with traditional Yuletide holiday celebrations that will spice up the music with a few little spoken word elements too. So participate as much as you can and join us right now in singing Joy to the World.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let us our songs employ. While fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains, repeats the sounding joy. Repeats the sounding joy. Repeats the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
All right, Joy to the World. Our next number brings together two concepts, two themes that flow throughout the Yuletide season. One is the Christmas message of peace on earth. The other element is something that Revels founder John Langstaff used to say, that if you had a group of people who weren't used to singing together, if you brought them together and wanted them to make beautiful music, the best way to do that, and the easiest way to do that, was to have them sing around. So every Christmas Revels production, both the full-fledged theatrical productions and what we're doing here today, include at least one round for peace. And we're going to do the first one of our program here right now. It's called simply the Peace Round. The words were written by the iconic Appalachian folk singer, dulcimer player, and folklorist Jean Ritchie, and she brought her piece round to the Revels repertoire when Revels presented its first Appalachian show in the year 1980 back in Boston, Massachusetts. So we're going to sing the Peace Round now, and we hope you'll sing with us. We're going to divide our group up into three parts. So let's have you three be the first group, and you three women in the middle be our second group, and we three guys over here on your right will be the third group. And let's do the groups in that order. Now, if you've got three people, you can divide up into three groups also, and if you have fewer than that, well, then you're free to pick any part you want. The point is, sing. So we're going to go through the Peace Round a couple of times with all of us singing together, then we'll break up into groups and sing it as a round. You'll give us an E minor there.
What a goodly thing if the children of the world could dwell together in
Our next carol is one of the truly American carols that have become part of the standard traditional Christmas repertoire. Written here in the United States, in fact, the tune is called St. Louis. This is O Little Town of Bethlehem. Sing with us.
So now is come our joyfulst feast. Let everyone be jolly. Each room with ivy leaves is dressed, and every post with holly. Though some churls at our mirth repine, round your foreheads garlands twine, drown sorrow in a cup of wine, and let us all be merry. Now all our neighbors' chimneys smoke, and Christmas blocks are burning. Their ovens they with baked meats choke, and all their spits are turning. Without the door let sorrow lie, and if for cold it hapt to die, we'll bury it in a Christmas pie, and evermore be merry. Then wherefore in these merry days should we, I pray, be duller? No. Let us sing some roundelays to make our mirth the fuller, and whilst thus inspired we sing, let all the streets with echoes ring, woods and hills and everything bear witness we are merry.
All hail to the days that merit more praise than all the rest of the year, and welcome the nights that double delights, as well for the poor as appear. Good fortune attend
begun this segment with two of the pieces of Christmas literature which are the most Revels-ish, I think, in tone. First, we heard the poem A Christmas Carol by George Wither, an English poet who lived at the turn of the 17th century. And then we heard the song To Drive the Cold Winter Away, which was first published in a collection called John Playford's English Dancing Master, which was published in London in the year 1651. So some good Christmas reveling from 17th century England to start off this segment. Let's do something a little more recent, and hope you'll join us in singing along with Deck the Hall.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Throw the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, la 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 la. Son of me in merry measure, la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, la 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 la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses, la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, la 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 la.
Deck the Hall, which is the English version of an old Welsh New Year's carol. You notice it doesn't mention Christmas. It talks about the Yuletide and the New Year, but it doesn't mention Christmas because it is in fact a New Year's carol. All right, time for us to do another piece round. Now, this one's got a little catch to it. It's not in English. It's in the language Hebrew, the language of the Jewish people. So let's go over the words first, and then we'll learn the music, and then we'll do the whole thing all put together. So the words are Shalom Havarim, Shalom Havarim.
Shalom Havarim, Shalom Havarim,
Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom,
Lehit Ra'ot, Lehit Ra'ot.
Lahit Raot, Lahit Raot,
Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom.
It means peace, friends, peace, friends, peace, peace, until we meet again, until we meet again, peace, peace. All right, this time, let's go the other way. Start with this group, and then you'll be in the middle again, ladies, and the group over here will be group number 3. And again, you divide up any way you want, but please join us in singing Shalom Havarim. All together.
Shalom Havarim, Shalom Havarim, Shalom, Shalom. Lahit Raot, Lahit Raot, Shalom.
Again, everybody.
Shalom Havarim, Shalom Havarim, Shalom, Shalom.
Now one of the oldest songs in our repertoire. We're going to sing With You We Hope, The Holly and the Ivy. And the reason you can tell that it's old is because it retains some of the references to the old religions. The holly and the ivy were both sacred plants to the Druids and some of the other older Celtic religions that preceded Christianity. And the reference to the rising of the sun is an image that is very much a part of the winter solstice, not to mention the running of the deer, since the annual hunt usually took place at that time of the year around the winter solstice. But then later on, Christian elements were added as we began to celebrate Christmas throughout the world. And then we have the references to the merry organ and the singing of the choir, and of Mary giving birth to the sweet infant Jesus. So we have a carol that combines both the old imagery of the old religions and modern day Christianity and the celebration of Christmas. Please join us in singing The Holly and the Ivy.
Holly and the ivy, when the river full grown, all the trees that are in the woods, the holly bears the crown. Oh, the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. The holly bears a blossom as white as lily flower, and Merrie for sweet Jesus Christ to be our dear Savior. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. The holly bears a berry as red as any blood, and Merrie bore sweet Jesus Christ to do our sinners good. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir.
That's a great shirt. Is it new?
This whole thing, no, I've had it for years.
Well, I hope you're not planning to wear it on Christmas.
I don't know. I might. Why not?
Don't you know about Yola Katoran?
Yola, what now?
Yola Katoran, you know, the Yule cat.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a tradition in Iceland that says if you don't wear something new on Christmas, the Yule cat will show up and eat you.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you the whole story. There's a giantess named Grilla who lives in a cave out in Iceland's lava fields with her husband and 13 sons. Now, Grilla is kind of bad news, and she keeps an enormous cat with huge glowing eyes and fur as sharp as needles as a pet. Unfortunately, her cat is a less picky eater than Grilla herself, who prefers to eat naughty children. Grilla's cat roams the snowy Icelandic countryside each Christmas and will eat anyone who isn't wearing new clothes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, originally they said that the Yule cat only ate lazy children's Christmas dinners, but somewhere along the line, things escalated.
But why does the Yule cat care if you wear new clothes?
Well, some say that farmers spread tales of the Yule cat as a way to encourage workers to finish carding the autumn wool before Christmas, and they gave them new clothes as a bonus, so that became part of the story. Others say that living in a cave with a giantess and 13 kids just makes a cat go a little bit skittish.
Okay, but skittish isn't bloodthirsty.
Actually, you can blame a poet for that. Johannes Kutlam published a piece called Yola Katoran in 1932 that firmly established the more ruthless Yule cat in modern Icelandic Christmas lore. It's still popular today.
Huh. Interesting. But that still doesn't mean I shouldn't wear my favorite shirt on Christmas.
Do you remember my cousin Gunnar?
Oh, Oh, yeah. How is he? I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, well, he didn't believe in the old cat and wore all of his old favorite clothes to Christmas dinner one year, and, well, you know how that... Wait, where are you going?
I'm going to go buy a new shirt. I'm not taking any chances.
Oh.
Join us on Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ my highest and adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time behold him come, offspring of the Virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh the Godhead see, hail incarnate deity. Pleased in flesh with us to dwell, Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hail the heavenborn Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings, with healing in his wings. While delays his glory born, born that men no more may die, born to raise us from the earth, born to give a second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
We have 4 rounds in our program today, and there ain't one of them that's normal. 2 of them are in old, obsolete, sort of minor keys. 2 of them are in languages other than English. And the one we're going to do now will be very familiar to you. You've probably been singing it since you were 3 years old. But it has not only words and music like most rounds, it also has what we call manual choreography. That is, hand gestures that go along with it. So we hope you can get all 3 parts, including the part in the last line that's sort of the walking and chewing gum at the same time part. So join us now. We'll go over it a couple of times so you get all the parts. We'll do Little Jack Horner. And this time, we're going to start with this group first, and we'll be second, and you'll be third. First, we're going to sing it twice, all together, with the hand gestures so that everybody can get them. Okay.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, eating his Christmas pie. He stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, yum, yum, yum. What a good boy, what a good boy, what a good boy am I. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, eating his Christmas pie. He stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, yum, yum, yum. What a good boy, what a good boy, what a good boy am I.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, eating his Christmas pie. He
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, What a good boy, what a good boy, what a good boy am I.
What a good boy, what a good boy, what a good boy am I.
Did you get your part all the way through?
I did.
Little
I
Jack
saw
Horner. Join us in singing the first Noel.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. His star through night to the northwest, o'er Bethlehem it took its rest, and there it did both stop and stay, right over the place where Jesus lay. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
From the first Noel, we go right to O Come All Ye Faithful.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come
In the early 16th century in Italy, there lived two individuals who really epitomized the title Renaissance man. Two very accomplished individuals who seemed to be experts at everything they tried. Up there in Milan, of course, was Leonardo da Vinci. But slightly to the east, in the town of Verona, Italy, there lived a gentleman named Giovanni Giocondo. He was a priest, a friar, in fact. He was also an accomplished architect, an engineer, an antiquarian who studied things of the past, antiquities, ancient artifacts, historical sites, etc. He was an archaeologist and a classical scholar. He taught Latin and Greek on the college level. On Christmas Eve in the year 1513, Fra Giovanni wrote a letter to his friend, a noblewoman, a countess, the Contessa Alagia degli Aldobrandeschi. And in that letter, he offered his greetings for the season. It's one of our first examples of a Christmas card. Paul Wolde of Revels Houston is going to read for you some excerpts from Fra Giovanni's Christmas salutation to the Contessa from the year 1513.
I salute you. I am your friend, and my love for you is deep. There is nothing I can give you which you have not got, but there is much, very much, that while I cannot give it, you can take. No heaven can come between us unless our hearts rest in today. Take heaven. No peace lies in the future, which is not hidden in this present little instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within our reach, is joy. Take joy. In everything we call a trial, a sorrow, or a duty, believe me, an angel's hand is there. The gift is there, and the wonder of an overshadowing presence. Life is so full of meaning and purpose, so full of beauty beneath its covering, that you will find earth but cloaks your heaven. Courage, then, to claim it. And so at this Christmas time, I greet you, not quite as the world sends greetings, but with profound esteem, and with the prayer that for you, now and forever, the day breaks and the shadows flee away.
Sing with us.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold.
Now, Sarah L. Crowder of the Revels Houston Solstice Singers and the chorus are going to perform for you a traditional song that comes to us from Scotland, in fact from the island of Eriskay in the Hebrides off Scotland's frigid and northwest coast. This is the Christ Child's Lullaby, Tala Christa.
My love, my pride, my treasure, oh, my wonder new and pleasure, oh, my son, my beauty, ever you. Who am I to bear you here? The cause of talk and tale am I, the cause of greatest fame am I, the cause of proudest care on high, to have for mine the King of all. And though you are the King of all, they brought you to a manger stall, and at your feet they all should fall, and glorify my child the King. They brought you myrrh, they brought you gold, frankincense and gifts untold. They traveled far these gifts to bring, and kneel before their newborn King. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. My love, my pride, my treasure, oh, my wonder new and pleasure, oh, my son, my beauty, ever you. Who am I to bear you here?
riddle.
Oh.
A riddle to sing.
We can get it.
At birth, I was wrinkled and grown rather stale. As a child, I was bruised and thrown into jail. I grew up in the dark in an old wooden pail. Now I'm a man, and my name is Wassail!
Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of a white maple tree. With the wassailing over we'll drink to thee. Here's a health to the odds and to his right eye. May God send our master a good Christmas time. A good Christmas time, and may we all see. With the wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. Here's a health to the cow and to her long tail. May God send our master a good cask of ale. A good cask of ale, and may we all see. With the wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. Come butler, come fill us a bowl of the best. And pray that your soul in heaven may rest. But if you do bring us a bowl of the small, we'll never take butler, bowl, and all.
Then here's to the name in the lily white smoke. We'll trip to the door and sit back no more. We'll trip to the door and pull back the bolt. For the ladies' joy was sailors on in.
Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of a white maple tree. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to
It seems as if every extended family has their Aunt Bertha or their cousin Matilda, who insists every year at Christmas time on baking her own family recipe of fruit cake and making sure that every family unit within the extended family gets at least one loaf of the fruit cake. Now, out of this has come the Yuletide national pastime of making fun of fruit cake. It seems that this tradition goes back quite a ways, because our next number is a song from the British Music Hall, although it was in fact written by a guy from Philadelphia, that has to do with Miss Houlihan's Christmas Cake. This song was published in the year 1883, so making fun of fruitcake at Christmas time has a long and storied history of its own. Miss Houlihan's Christmas Cake. As I sat at me window last evening, the letterman brought unto me a little gilt-edged invitation, saying, Gilhooly, come over to tea. Sure I knew that the Houlihan sent it, so I went just for old friendship's sake. And the first thing they give me to tackle was a slice of Miss Houlihan's cake.
And there was plums and prunes and cherries and citron and raisins and cinnamon too.
Sing along!
There was cloves and berries, and a crust that was nailed down with glue. There was caraway seeds in abundance, sure would make for a fine stomach ache. That would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Houlihan's Christmas cake.
Miss Mulligan wanted to taste it, but really there wasn't no use. They worked at it over an hour, but they couldn't get none of it loose. Till Houlihan went for the hatchet and Killy came in with a song. That cake was enough by its powers to paralyze any man's jaw.
And there was plums and prunes and cherries and citron and raisins and cinnamon too. There was nuts, mace, cloves and berries, and a crust it was nailed on with glue. There was caraway seeds in abundance, George would make for a fine stomach cake that would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Houlihan's Christmas cake.
Miss Houlihan, proud as a paycock, kept smiling and blinking away till she tripped over Flanagan's brogan and spilled a whole brewing of tea. Oh, Gilhooly, she cried, you're not eating. Try a little bit more for me sake. Oh no, Miss Houlihan, says I've had quite enough of your cake.
And there was plums and prunes and cherries and citron and raisins and cinnamon too. There was nuts, baked cloves and berries, and a crust it was nailed down with glue. There was caraway seeds in abundance, sure would make for a fine stomach cake that would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Houlihan's Christmas cake. Let's have some cake.
What's she ever doing here?
Maybe you can start on it.
Everybody sing.
God rest you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. From God our Heavenly Father,
There was snow. Do you remember? It was many years ago, and we were young. And a star moved through the sky. The air was cold, and over the hill came voices, faint and high, and we sang too there by the fire. I can hear the laughter still, all together, giving, glad, and never forgetting why. That was a time when we were young and the world's bright star came by. Tell me, do you remember? It was many years ago, but you still may hear the voices if you try.
Sing with us.
Away in a Manger is one of 3 songs we're going to be singing in this segment of the program, which are all from our own soil, all American songs. Away in a Manger is one of the Christmas carols that came from the United States, but has become part of the traditional Christmas repertoire throughout the English-speaking world. Now we have one song we're going to do this set which is not from America, and that's our next number. This is a wassail from the part of the United Kingdom called Cornwall, which is one of the 7 original Celtic nations of Europe. This is the Cornish wassail.
Now Christmas is coming and New Year begin. Pray open your door and let us come in. With our wassail, 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 joy come to our jolly wassail. Here at your door we already do stand, the jolly wassail boys with a bowl in our hand. With our wassail, 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 joy come to our jolly wassail.
This ancient old house we will kindly salute. It is an old custom we need not dispute.
With our wassail, 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 joy come to our jolly wassail. Christ is
One more time.
Amen.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah, brother. Sing with us on We Three Kings of Oriental.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Glorious now, behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice. Alleluia, alleluia, sounds through the earth and skies. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Every year on the night of January 5th, the eve of the Feast of the Three Kings, a woman known as Old Befana visits the homes of all the children of Italy and leaves them candies, cookies, and gifts. It is said that she is searching for the Christ child. There are many stories about how Old Befana and how she began her search. This is one of them.
Once upon a time, in a tiny village in Italy, there lived an old woman called La Befana. Her fellow villagers thought she was a cranky old curmudgeon and unfriendly as well, but they also had to admit that she was the best housekeeper any of them knew. Each day, she swept her entire cottage and her front steps, too. One day, much to Befana's surprise, 3 richly dressed gentlemen appeared at her doorstep just as she opened her door to sweep her front steps.
Pardon me, madam, but do you, by any chance, know the way to Bethlehem?
No. We must find Bethlehem, madam. Have you perchance seen the bright new star in the sky?
Yeah, that star I've seen. It kept me awake all night. I didn't get a wink of sleep.
Under this star, a child is born. A baby king who will change the world. Are you sure you don't know the way to Bethlehem?
I don't know anything about any kings of any kind. I've never even heard of Bethlehem. Now, if you don't mind, I must get back to my work.
Oh, well, we understand. But could you perhaps put us up for the night?
Yeah, that I can do.
Befana was a wonderful hostess despite her brusque manners, and her house was immaculately clean. The wise men were surprised at how much they enjoyed their stay. The following day, much as when they had arrived, the wise men took their leave just as Befana began to sweep her doorstep.
You should join us, Befana, and come to meet the baby king.
Come to Bethlehem, Befana. This child we seek has come to bring hope to us all.
Yes, come with us, Befana, and help us bring gifts for the child.
I simply cannot. I've got more work to do.
So the wise men continued on their way to Bethlehem without their new friend. But shortly after they left, Befana began to wonder.
A child king? A child who will bring hope to us all? Where could I bring such a child? What do all children love? Sweets, yes. I'll take my broom too, because surely that child's mother is too tired to clean.
Then Befana swept back into her house, no pun intended, and began to bake. She made cookies, candy, and cakes for the child and soon set out to follow the wise men to Bethlehem. She went, bearing a basket of sweets fit for a king and her trusty broom too. However, she really didn't know the way to Bethlehem and never caught up with the wise men. So, to this day, on the eve of the Feast of the Three Kings on January 6th, old Befana goes from home to home, searching for the child king and visiting all the children of Italy as they sleep. She tidies each room, by sweeping, of course, and leaves sweets for all the good children. Naughty children are less lucky, though, for she only leaves them onions, garlic, or lumps of coal. And no peeking when La Befana comes, or she'll whack you with her broom.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Glad tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us a figgy pudding, now bring us a figgy pudding, now bring us a figgy pudding and a cup of good cheer. We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, so bring it out here. Glad tidings we bring to you and your kin. Glad tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The Solstice Singers are now going to do one of the older songs from our Christmas repertoire here. The melody dates back to the 15th century, and the words were first published in a hymnal in the year 1599. This is Lo, How a Rose E'er Blooming, and the arrangement by German composer Michael Praetorius, which was published in 1609. Lo, How a Rose E'er Blooming.
As those of
last of our rounds for peace now. And this is the one that's most often heard in Christmas Revels productions. It's very simple. It's in Latin, but it's very simple because there are only 3 words in the lyrics. Dona nobis pacem. Give us peace, or grant us peace. All right, this time let's have the middle group go first. And you group will be second. And this group will be third. And we'll sing it all together one time through, all of us at the same time, and then break up into parts. Dona nobis pacem.
Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis 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 pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem. Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis pacem.
Softer.
Nobis pacem. Nobis pacem.
Softer still. Make it a whisper.
Nobis pacem.
So the shortest day came, and the year died. And everywhere down through the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight this shortest day. As promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year, and every year. Welcome, Yule!
Welcome, Yule!
Everybody.
God bless the master of this house with happiness beside. Wherever his body rides or walks, his God must be his guide. His God must be his guide. God bless the mistress of this house with gold chain round her breast. Where'er her body sleeps or wakes, Lord, send her soul to rest. Lord, send her soul to rest. God bless your house, your children too, your cattle and your store. The Lord increase you day by day and send you more and more, and send you more and more.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a mystical winter solstice. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this Revels Houston Christmas caroling party. And we thank all of our participants, the members of the Solstice Singers and the Merrie Band of Players. They are Ruth Cross, who's also playing recorder, Sarah L. Crowder, who wrote our script, Beverly Ladnier, Gary Schroller playing penny whistle and accordions, Paul Wolde, who was the producer of our program, Xiaolan Wang, who's on piano, Ella Forel playing guitar, Celia Homer playing baritone, ukulele, Merlin M4, and Modron, our utility player, and Paul Downs singing and playing violin. I'm Bob Stevenson. Thank you for supporting Revels Houston, and if you haven't already done so this Christmas time, please go to our website, revelshouston.org, and make a donation to your Revels company. We'll be back next year with a full-fledged Christmas Revels production. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, Yule.